Hello my dear children, welcome back to English class. Today we are going to see chapter number 5 from your snapshots book, Mother's Day, written by J.B. Priestley. Now before we start the lesson, let's read something about the author. So J.B. Priestley, his full name is John Boynton Priestley. He was born on September 13, 1894 and he passed away on August 14, 1984. And he was born in England, so he was an English novelist, a playwright. Playwright means a dramatist. In last lesson also we saw playwright means a dramatist like Shakespeare, the one who writes dramas. Okay. And Mr. J.B. Priestley, he served British Army in World War I and he completed his education from Trinity Hall, Cambridge. He studied in a university. Okay, some of his notable works are The Good Companions, Angel Pavement, The White Countess, and The Glass Cage. He has written many dramas, children. So many acts also he has written, so many one-act plays. But these are some important ones. Now this chapter is a very special chapter because it is based on Mother's Day. So let us see what the story is about. Now, so this is a one-act play, children, and in this play we are going to see how a mother's efforts are ignored by her family. Okay, and it narrates how the family members who work 8 hours shift a day look upon her although she works for the whole day and all week. There is no Sundays for mothers, yes or no? But still we fail to acknowledge her hard work and her sacrifice towards the family. So this lesson is based on that, how far a mother is sacrificing her life for the sake of family and the family members. Okay, with her, she is giving all her time to her family, and most of the time the mother is taken for granted in spite of the sacrifices which she does for her family. So this story revolves around Mrs. Pearson, who is the central figure of the story, who is a mother in this play, and her friend Mrs. Fitzgerald, which we are going to see in the story, who is a fortune teller. Okay, Mrs. Fitzgerald is a fortune teller and she also knows a little bit of magic which she learnt from the East. So that was about the story, children. Now let's see the characters. First character is Mrs. Annie Pearson, the central character of the story, who is a mother. Next, Mr. George Pearson, who is the husband of Mrs. Pearson and the father of Doris and Cyril. So Doris is the girl, the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Pearson, and Cyril is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Pearson. So these 4 members are the family. And Mrs. Fitzgerald, she is the neighbor of the Pearsons. Okay, and she is a fortune teller. So children, all of you can listen to the lesson as well as you can please take your book, snapshots book, page number 32. You can find this lesson, prose number 5, Mother's Day. You can take a pencil and you can listen to the class as well as you can take down the hints. Okay, so let's begin, children. So here since this is a drama, this is a play, it has characters and also dialogues. Okay, and also the scene is also described properly. So when the curtain raises, you can see the living room of the Pearson family. Okay, living room means the drawing room where you have sofa and the TV and all that. Okay, the place where you bring your guests, right? So it is a living room of the Pearson family. It is afternoon time and it is a comfortably furnished, much lived in room in a small suburban semi-detached villa. Okay, suburban of London. Okay, children, so this drama is taking place where it is happening in the living room of Pearson's house. And where is the house situated? It is in the suburb of London. Okay, and they are living in a much lived in room. That means the room is looking, it was not looking very new. Okay, it was looking as if people were living there since ages. Okay, and there are two doors in the living hall. One is leading to the front door and the staircase, and the other one is on the right side, which leads to the kitchen and the back door. Okay, and there is a muslin covered window in the left wall and possibly one in the right wall. So there are two muslin clothes on the window covering the windows, okay, like a curtain. And there is a fireplace on the fourth wall, and there is a settee upright, an armchair down left, and one down right. Okay, so this is the setup of the stage, since as I already told you that this is a drama. So அந்த ஸ்டேஜில் இந்த மாதிரி அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணி வச்சுருக்காங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ ஆர்ம் சேர் இருக்குது, சோஃபா இருக்குது, ஃபயர் பிளேஸ் இருக்குது, 2 doors இருக்குது. So everything is arranged properly. Okay, and there is a small table with 2 chairs on the either side, and on the table on the center la irukku. Okay, so the curtain rises, so it is afternoon, and it looks like early autumn, and the stage was fully light up. Okay, the stage is it was very bright, and on the stage you can see Mrs. Pearson at the right and Mrs. Fitzgerald at the left. Okay, and they are sitting opposite to each other on at the small table, and on that they are having 2 teacups. They are having tea and saucer, and cards also they have. And what card it is? It is not the playing cards, they are the tarot cards. Okay, tarot cards means when you see the cards, you can read the future of the person. Okay, though that card is called tarot cards, TAROT. So the last T is silent. So Mrs. Fitzgerald already சொன்ன மாதிரி she is a fortune teller. அவங்க cards எடுத்துட்டு யார் வீட்டுக்கு வந்திருக்காங்க? Mrs. Pearson வீட்டுக்கு வந்திருக்காங்க. For what? To read the future of Mrs. Pearson. Okay, to read the fortune of Mrs. Pearson. So Mrs. Pearson, she is pleasant, she looks happy, but also worried. She is a woman of in her 40s, and she looks very much worried. Okay, happy as well as she is worried. Okay, and Mrs. Fitzgerald is a little bit older than Mrs. Pearson, a little heavier. Okay, and a strong personality she is. Okay, and she is smoking. We can find her smoking on the table, and her voice is also very deep, and she has Irish slang when she spoke. Okay, so the play started, and how it started, Mrs. Fitzgerald, she is collecting up her cards. Okay, and she is ready to tell the fortune of Mrs. Pearson. So let me tell you about Mrs. Pearson before we start the lesson, children. Mrs. Pearson, she is a mother, a wife in Pearson's family. Okay, and she does everything for the family. She has made so many sacrifices, and she does a lot for the sake of family. Okay, for the upbringing of the children, and she never enjoyed any kind of holiday or appreciation from the family. So in spite of doing so many things for her family, she never got any acknowledgement or any appreciation from her family members. Neither her husband ever appreciated her, nor her children Doris and Cyril. யாருமே இது வரைக்கும் எந்த ஒரு சின்ன தேங்க்ஸ் கூட சொன்னது கிடையாது, in spite of her sacrifices and hard work she did for the family. Okay, so she is you can say a typical housewife she was. Okay, அதாவது ஃபேமிலிக்காக எல்லாமே செய்கிறது, பட் ரிட்டர்னில் நத்திங் ஷீ எக்ஸ்பெக்டட். Okay, she never expected anything in return. She only gave so much of time and energy for her family, but she never expected anything from her family. Okay, so Mrs. Fitzgerald, she saw the cards. Okay, she read the cards, and she told her fortune, and also she advised her that she should be appreciated and she should be treated well by her family. So this was the thought of Mrs. Fitzgerald, who was not only the neighbor of Mrs. Pearson but also her very good friend. Okay, so she knew very well that Mrs. Pearson, she did everything for the sake of her family, but her family never acknowledged her hard work and sacrifice. Okay, so now Mrs. Fitzgerald, she tells her to take a stand as the woman of the family. Okay, she asked her to show her family, to make her family realize that she is an important member of the family. Okay, and she should also make her family a disciplined one, because her husband, Mrs. Pearson's husband, he always used to go to clubs, okay, for hanging out with his friends and all. And also her daughter Doris, she was a girl of 20s, in her 20s, and she also roamed here and there with her friends. Especially she had a boy who was her friend, and his name was Charlie. Okay, that we are going to see further. And Cyril, he was also he was not an obedient boy, so everybody needed to be put on track. Okay, so Mrs. Fitzgerald, she advised Mrs. Pearson to take a stand as a woman of the family. Okay, to take the responsibility to make the family come on track, to make the family disciplined one. Okay, so Mrs. Pearson, she started feeling very embarrassing, very awkward, because even the neighbors knew how Mrs. Pearson was treated by her family. Okay, so here Mrs. Fitzgerald, அதாவது அந்த fortune teller, she gives an offer. She gives up a wonderful plan. What plan was that? The plan was to switch their bodies. Okay, அதாவது it looks like very like magical, but she knew a little bit of magic also, which she learned from the east. Okay, from the eastern countries she learned some magic. So and the magic mulyama, she actually gave a plan that with the help of magic they will change their bodies. Okay, so Mrs. Fitzgerald will become Mrs. Pearson, and Mrs. Pearson will become Mrs. Fitzgerald. அதாவது உள்ள soul ஒன்று தான், but they will change their bodies. Okay, so this was a plan. And Mrs. Fitzgerald, since she was very bold and dynamic, okay, she thought, she was 100% sure that she will change the family. She will change the attitude of the family towards the woman of the family, towards the mother, அதாவது Mrs. Pearson. Okay, so this plan she made, and she also told Mrs. Pearson. Mrs. Pearson, initially she was very much hesitating to do this, but later after Mrs. Fitzgerald compelled her, she persuaded her, she agreed. Okay, சரி, okay, change பண்ணிக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு she agreed. Now she performed some magical spell. Mrs. Fitzgerald, she held Mrs. Pearson's hand very tightly, and she performs some magic. Okay, and immediately they changed their personalities. Now you have to be very careful, children. Now the Fitzgerald is Mrs. Pearson now. Okay, and Mrs. Pearson is Mrs. Fitzgerald. So both of them, they changed their bodies. Can you understand, children? I want all of you to just visualize it. Apdi you think pani par. Okay, so you will not forget. So மிஸ்ஸஸ் ஃபிட்ஸ்ஜெரால்ட், அதாவது மிஸ்ஸஸ் பியர்சனோட பாடியில் அவங்க இப்போ இருக்காங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ மிஸ்ஸஸ் பியர்சன் ஷீ tried to adopt the voice and mannerism of Mrs. Pearson. Okay, so she also found, for example, இப்போ வந்து சிகரெட் யார் கையில் இருக்கு? மிஸ்ஸஸ் பியர்சனோட கையில் இருக்குது. ஓகே, லைக் ஷீ சேஞ்ச் டு மிஸ்ஸஸ் ஃபிட்ஸ்ஜெரால்ட். இப்போ மிஸ்ஸஸ் பியர்சன் என்ன பண்ணுறாங்கன்னா, ஷீ இஸ் ஸ்நாச்சிங் த சிகரெட் ஃப்ரம் மிஸ்ஸஸ் Fitzgerald's hand, okay, because she was having her cigarette, so she snatched it and she started smoking, because body வந்து Mrs. Pearson ஓடது, but inside who is she was Mrs. Fitzgerald, who had the habit of smoking. Okay children, so you should not forget now. So இப்போ Mrs. Pearson அப்படின்னு நான் எப்போல்லாம் சொல்கிறேனோ அதை வந்து Mrs. Fitzgerald தான் உள்ளே இருக்காங்க. Okay, and Mrs. Fitzgerald சொல்லும்போது she is actually Mrs. Pearson, so you should not forget that they have changed their bodies. Okay, they have exchanged, they have swapped their bodies, like that you can understand. Okay, so they started adopting each other's mannerism and behavior and all that, and the way of talking adella change ada practice panna aarambichittaanga. Okay, so Mrs. Fitzgerald she said bye bye because she was asked to go to her house. Okay, so Mrs. Fitzgerald சொல்லும்போது actually who is leaving the house? Mrs. Pearson is leaving the house. Okay, and she was going to her own house. Okay, இப்போ லிவிங் ரூம் ஆக்சுவலி யாரோடது? மிஸ்ஸஸ் பியர்சனோட, அந்த ஃபேமிலியோடது. ஓகே, ஸோ மிஸ்ஸஸ் ஃபிட்ஸ்ஜெரால்ட் வந்து இந்த ஷீ இஸ் லீவிங் டு ஹர் ஹவுஸ், விட்டு வெளியில் போயிட்டாங்க. ஷீ வென்ட் டு ஹர் ஹவுஸ். ஓகே, so after a few moments, Doris, who is Doris? The daughter. Okay, now she enters inside the house, I mean inside that room, and she looks very pretty, and she is in her early 20s, and she is a spoilt girl. Okay, she is a spoilt girl, and Doris, after coming, she demands for her dress which she gave to her mother for ironing. Okay, which dress? One yellow silk dress which she gave to her mother for ironing, to pressing. Okay, for pressing she gave, and she wanted to wear that dress that night because she was going out with her friends, especially Charlie Spence. Okay, her friend's name was Charlie Spence, so she wanted to go out with him. So she asked her mother about the yellow silk dress which she gave to her mother for ironing. So when she asked Mrs. Pearson, she answered very rudely. Okay, she said, well, this time I don't want to iron your dress, that is rubbish, and I don't talk rubbish. Okay, so she got very shocked. Who? Doris. She got very shocked, and she started crying, and Mrs. Pearson, she started insulting her friend Charlie Spence. Okay, and Doris, she started crying very badly, and she left the place. So Doris, she never saw this kind of behavior from her mother. Actually, even now, it was not her mother, it was Mrs. Fitzgerald. Okay, but she was in the body of Mrs. Pearson. So Doris, she thought that her mother was scolding her, and she left the place in tears. So at this point, Cyril, the son of Mrs. Pearson, he enters, and he says,
hello mom, tea ready?
For this, Mrs. Pearson, she says, no. Then again Cyril,
why not? Are you not feeling well today?
So here Mrs. Pearson again, she spoke very angrily, which was a new thing for Cyril to watch, okay, because he has never seen his mother shouting or scolding anybody. She was so sweet to everyone, okay, but this was the first time she started scolding, and she just said that just for a change she didn't want to make tea for anybody in the family. So by this time Doris, she also enters from the left, and she is wearing that yellow dress, and she is looking very pale and red eyed. That means she was crying, okay. So she enters the room, and Mrs. Pearson, she looks at her daughter and she says, "You look terrible. I wouldn't wear that face even for Charlie Spence." Okay, so she says that even these clothes I won't wear even for Charlie Spence. That means she also insulted Charlie, and Doris, she got very angry, and she, you know what she said to her mother? She said, "Shut up about Charlie Spence." That means she was not accepting the fact that the mother was insulting her friend Charlie Spence. So at this point Mrs. Pearson, she stood up from the place, and she moved towards the kitchen, and she asked, "Have we any stout left?" Stout is a kind of a beer, children. So she asked Cyril, "Is there any beer left in the house?" So Cyril, he replied, "Bottle or two, maybe one bottle or two bottles are left, but you don't want stout now." Because that means Mrs. Pearson was not, she never drank beer. So Cyril, he got very shocked when the mother asked about the beer, okay. So now Mrs. Pearson, she left to the kitchen, and only we can find on the stage Cyril and Doris talking about their mother. Now both of them, they started talking about their experience with their changed behavior of their mother. So Doris, she said that she scolded her and she insulted her, and she also insulted her friend Charlie, and she made her cry. And Cyril, he also said that yes, she also told me that she won't give tea, and she was not looking like a caring mother. Okay, so she never bothered about giving the tea to her son. So there is something wrong with the mother. They started discussing between themselves, okay, and they also made fun of her mother, of their mother, that when dad comes, when Mr. George Pearson comes, she would change again, because she was a very obedient wife to her husband. So when husband comes, she would not behave like this. Okay, so they thought like that, and they started giggling, they started laughing, they were making fun of their mother. Okay children, now Mrs. Pearson, again she enters from the right, because she came out of the kitchen now, and she was carrying, guess what? She was carrying a bottle of stout. Okay children, stout is what? It is a kind of a beer, okay, and she was also carrying a half filled glass. So Cyril and Doris, they just immediately they stopped their laughing, their laughter and giggling, and they got very much shocked after seeing their mother with the bottle of stout and a half filled glass. So she came, and she came and sat on the chair. At this point, Cyril, he also exists. He goes to the kitchen to bring something for eating for himself, okay, because his mother was not she was not at all bothered about giving something to Cyril. So he planned to help himself. So he went to the kitchen to eat something. And Doris, she was still standing, and she said, "Mummy, you don't mean you are not going to do anything on Saturday and Sunday?" That means Mrs. Pearson, she said that she also needed off on these 2 days, because all other working people, they have holidays. No, Saturday, Sunday is the day off, OFF, off for them, okay, weekend. So she also demanded that she will not work on these 2 days. So that was also very so here you should understand, children, that Mrs. Pearson, she was keeping each and every demand in front of the family, and she stopped doing for the family which she did for ages. Okay, காலகாலமா பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறது, ஃபேமிலிக்காக பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறது, she suddenly stopped doing that. Okay, so this was quite puzzling. This was quite confusing for these 2 children, who Doris and Cyril. Now let's see what happens when the father comes. Okay, so now we can see George Pearson entering from the left side of the stage. So he is looking in his 50s, okay, like 50-year-old man, 50, 52, 55, like that, and he looks quite decent, and he looks very self-important, very proud man, and looking very pompous. Okay, he is looking very plump and heavy, and very slow moving type. So slowly he is coming towards Mrs. Pearson, and he also notices Doris crying. Okay, because often Mrs. Pearson, she kept on insulting her friend Charlie, so she started crying, and George, when he entered, he also noticed her crying. So she came inside and he said,
"Hello, what's this? Can't be anything to cry about."
So Doris, she just said, "You will see." What do you mean by you will see? நீங்க பார்க்க தான் போறீங்க why I am crying அப்படின்னு. Okay, and she just said like this, and she left the place. So this made Mr. George very much confused. So he slowly turned towards Mrs. Pearson, where she was sitting, and he got completely confused and shocked when he saw Mrs. Pearson with stout. Okay, we know already that she was drinking, she was taking the sip of stout. So he got very shocked, and he said, "Stout?" And Mrs. Pearson said, "Yes." Mr. George, he was completely amazed, and he asked,
"What are you drinking stout for?"
To this, Mrs. Pearson, she replied in a very cool way. She said, "Because I like drinking stout." So here even Mr. George, he was very much shocked and confused with the changed behavior of his wife. Okay, because the wife was always very much helpful and obedient to her husband. Okay, but now this was a new face of the wife. Okay, and Mrs. Annie Pearson was never like this before. So always she used to bring tea for him whenever he came home, but today instead of bringing tea, she was having stout herself, sitting in front of her husband. So actually, who was doing all these things? Of course, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Okay, but the body was of Mrs. Pearson. So why they did like this, children? To teach a lesson to the family. Now let's see what happens next. So here Mr. George, he said that he wanted to go to the club and he didn't want any tea. Okay, so Mrs. Pearson, she said, "Okay, there is no tea at all. Unakku tea e kadayadu." She like that she said, and George, he was quite astonished. He was very shocked by this behavior, and he said, "You mean tea is not ready?" And Mrs. Pearson, she said, "Yeah, tea is not ready. So what?" And she also said, "Do you think that this is your club where you will order everything and you will get everything on the plate? No, this is your house and I am your wife." Okay, so she started being very much bossy in front of her husband, which made George very much confused. Okay, and not only this, she also said one shocking thing about Mr. George, which was in club he was made fun by the other people. Okay, so she said that do you know what people talk about you at the club? They call you Pompey Pearson. Okay, Pompey. That means he was very fat. Okay, so they used to call him Pompey. That was a pet name they kept for him, and he was slow and pompous. Okay, so everybody made fun of Mr. George Pearson, and Mrs. Pearson, she revealed this truth in front of George. So George, he got very much horrified, and he said they never made fun of him. Okay, so he got very much shocked and he didn't feel very happy about this. So by this time, Cyril, he enters from the right with a glass of milk in his hand, because he went to the kitchen, yes or no, if you remember, and a thick slice of cake in the other hand. So he came, and George, he looked at Cyril and he asked Cyril, you have been with me to the club once or twice, yes or no? So now you tell me that do people laugh at me and they call me Pompey Pearson? Do they? He asked very angrily. Okay, and Cyril, he got very embarrassed and he says, yes, Dad, they call you Pompey Pearson. So George, he got very much, he felt very bad, and he left the place. So after his leaving, Cyril, he got very much annoyed with Mrs. Pearson, and he shouted at her why she revealed the truth in front of Mr. George, because he might have felt very bad. Okay, so now the door is knocking, and there was Mrs. Fitzgerald. Okay, so actually Mrs. Fitzgerald gar de aa rahe. The body is of Mrs. Fitzgerald, but actually she was Mrs. Pearson. So she came to see what was going on. Was everything okay, fine or not inside her house? Okay, so she came. She is brought inside by Cyril. He ushered her. Ushered means just bringing her, showing her the way. Okay, and both of them come inside the living room. Okay. Now, Mrs. Fitzgerald, she came inside and she asked, is everything okay? Is everything fine? And Cyril, he said, no, it is not. Okay, so Mrs. Pearson, she started shouting at Cyril. She said, you be quiet. You don't know how to speak in front of elders, you spoilt young man. So Mrs. Fitzgerald, she was Mrs. Pearson. Okay, so the mother inside her, it woke up, and she said, no, surely he is not a spoiled child. And Mrs. Pearson, she said, now Mrs. Fitzgerald, this is my family matter, and you please stay away from my family. So at this point, Cyril, he leaves inside the kitchen. He leaves the place, and Mrs. Fitzgerald, she comes and she sits on the chair and she asks, what's happening? And Mrs. Pearson, she just says very calmly, she says, nothing much, just putting them in their places, that's all. So Mrs. Fitzgerald, she asks, is George home? Other husband, okay, is he home? And Mrs. Pearson, she says, yes, I have been telling him what they think of him at the club. So Mrs. Fitzgerald, she says, they think a lot of him, don't they? But she shouldn't have said all these things in front of Mr. George, or he might have felt very bad. So at this moment, George, he enters from the left very unpleasantly. He was looking very unhappy by seeing the visitor, that is Mrs. Fitzgerald, and he comes slowly and he sat on the armchair which was kept on the left side. So he sat there. So here Mrs. Fitzgerald, she started interfering in the family matters, which was disliked by Mr. George Pearson. Okay. And he asked her to stop, and here Mrs. Pearson, she also started interrupting, and she started insulting Mr. George by again taunting him about how they called him in the club. Okay, so Mrs. Fitzgerald, who was actually Mrs. Pearson, she started getting very much annoyed, okay, because she never spoke to her husband like that. She was always a dutiful and always an obedient, a very kind and helpful wife to her husband. So she got very much annoyed by seeing Mrs. The lady's behavior towards her husband. So here again she got angry, and she asked Mrs. Pearson to stop talking nonsense about Mr. George. Okay, but she didn't keep quiet. She was continuously and constantly making the whole situation very much miserable and out of control. Okay, so at this moment Doris also she entered, and now Mrs. Fitzgerald, she also comes to know that Mrs. Pearson had made Doris cry, and she also insulted her friend Charlie Spence. So she came to know this, and she was very much worried about Doris, okay, because she never scolded Doris like this. So she got very much worried about how she felt, and when Doris entered, she asked her, did you meet Charlie today? You thought of going out with Charlie Spence tonight? So for this, Doris, she got very much annoyed, she got very much angry, and she asked, what's that to do with you? Okay, and Mrs. Pearson, she said, stop that, you can't talk to elders like that. Okay, and so this was the whole situation. Okay, now, and George, he also interrupted in between, and the whole situation went out of control. Now let's see what happened next, children. So at this moment, Mrs. Fitzgerald, she tried to control the situation. She tried to control Mrs. Pearson. Okay, so for this, Mrs. Pearson, she started shouting at Mrs. Fitzgerald. She said, Mrs. Fitzgerald, I will manage my family and you manage yours. So for this, Mrs. Pearson, she she couldn't control that her husband and her children were insulted by Mrs. Pearson. So she just stood up from her place, and she also shouted. She said, that's enough, quite enough. And she asked Doris and George to leave the place, and she because she wanted to talk in private with Mrs. Pearson. Okay, so here out of that anger, she said the name, I want to talk with Mrs. Fitz, and then she corrected herself and she said, I want to talk with Mrs. Pearson. Okay, now George and Doris, both of them, they left the place, and now we can see only Mrs. Fitzgerald and Mrs. Pearson on the stage. Okay, so here Mrs. Fitzgerald, she said, Mrs. Fitzgerald, we must change back now. And Mrs. Pearson, she said, why? Mrs. Fitzgerald, she said, because it is enough. Okay, I cannot see my the miserable condition of my family, so I think we should change our bodies again. Okay, so initially Mrs. Pearson, actually who was Mrs. Fitzgerald, she was hesitating because there was so many things to be repaired in the family. But when Mrs. Pearson, Mrs. Fitzgerald, when she started convincing her, when she started persuading her, when she started forcing her or compelling her, she agreed. Okay, and again with the same procedure, where the way she did earlier, in the same procedure she started telling the magical words, and finally both of them changed their personalities. Okay, both again the bodies were changed. Now Mrs. Fitzgerald was the original Fitzgerald and Pearson was the original Mrs. Pearson. Okay, this situation, because both of them changed their bodies. Okay, so here Mrs. Fitzgerald, she said, well, I enjoyed that. And Mrs. Pearson, she said, no, I didn't. Okay, obviously because she she couldn't tolerate the insult of the family. So here both of them, they Mrs. Fitzgerald, she got a promise from Mrs. Pearson that hereafter you should follow the same and you should never give up being the woman of the family, because she was also an important part of the family, and you should take a stand being the woman of the family. Okay, so at this moment everybody in the family, like the other members, George, Doris, Cyril, everybody came inside through the doorway, and they started looking at Mrs. Pearson. So in that Mrs. Pearson, the original mother, okay, so she started smiling, and the smiling was so appealing and welcoming, so sweet, like the actual mother was smiling. So here Mrs. Pearson, she suggested that they to play rummy with the kids, and also the kids to make supper. Supper means the night food, okay, the dinner. So everybody agreed, and they agreed instantly, and now they felt very happy because Mrs. Pearson was looking like the old mother. Okay, so here Mrs. Fitzgerald, she thought that her work was okay, it was finally over, and she said, "Yes dear, night all, have a nice time," and then she exits. Okay, so here the family had a cluster now, and they clustered around the mother, and the curtain falls. So there ends the lesson, children. I hope you understood the lesson, and please read the lesson. It is like a play, okay, drama mari irukku, nariya dialogues irukku. So you can read the play from your book, so you will get a very a clearer picture, and when you come across any new word, please find the meaning of the word in the dictionary, and please write it in the book. Okay, and the book back questions are there. You please write the answers in your notebook. So have a nice day, children. Thank you.